What's up everybody and welcome back to my channel. It's been a while since I've done a 90-day fiance recap, but here we are. This is what went down on 90-Day Fiance Happily Ever After Season 4, Episode 7. Larissa and Colt's marriage seems to have greatly improved since the last time we saw them. In fact, Larissa is so happy within her marriage that she got her husband a very, very special customized gift.
I will make the shirt. My husband is a pussy.
We also learned about another lie that Colt had told Larissa in order to get her to marry him and come on over to America. He told her that he couldn't stand living with his mother and was dying to move out, and that when they got married, it would be just the two of them living alone together. And speaking of happy marriages, Pedro, who is in the Dominican Republic escaping from his wife Chantel, had a sudden change of heart. Like, it was really weird to see. All of a sudden, he missed the hell out of Chantel to the point where he, on a night out with his friends, was fighting back tears when talking about missing her. Psych. He's still pissed as hell that Chantel's coming on over, so he decided to have a last hurrah with his friends and even brought his Dominican side chick with him. Literally, his entire table of family and friends told him that his marriage wouldn't work out and that he should leave his wife Chantel, and Pedro admitted to having the same doubts. Guys, it's no wonder Chantel does not like him hanging around them. Like, they do not have the best interest of this relationship in heart for him. Meanwhile, in Florida, our resident alpha male with no job, Andrei, had a really funny reaction to finding out that his wife Elizabeth, who was very pregnant by the way, didn't have to work overtime in order to get money from her dad for the apartment. Like, he just gifted her the money, and upon finding that out, Andrei was extremely upset that she did not break her back pregnant working while he sat around waiting for people to respond to his Craigslist ads.
It kind of sucks when your wife stabs you in the back and it's not a good feeling.
Now, if you recall, in the last episode, Elizabeth again went behind Andrei's back and talked to her dad, asked him to offer Andrei a job so that he could start helping to support the family, you know, because she was gonna have to stop working eventually as maternity leave crept up on her. And so Andrei, not knowing this, went over to the dad's house, and you know, he just seemed so overly comfortable with remaining unemployed while his pregnant wife worked to support himself, her, and their impending baby as well.
Elizabeth is a daddy's girl, but she needs to grow up because we are together and we have to make our own life, to build it in our own way. Yeah,
that's right. In Andrei's world, Elizabeth's the one who needs to grow up. You know, he is doing all he can to support his family by posting photos and a non-existent resume up on Craigslist and sitting back and waiting for people to beg him for a job. Now, since Azan canceled their trip to Grenada after Nicole's money for his flight landed in his account, she decided to remain optimistic about their future and increase his attraction to her from 55% to potentially maybe even 58% by dyeing her hair electric purple and doing a bit of exercise on her front lawn every now and again. Can we talk about how absolutely ridiculous and asinine it is for a single mother living in poverty to continuously send money to a grown-ass man while she can't even keep a roof over her daughter's head? Like, in this episode, she moved from her brother and sister's home over back into her mom's home, and she said she was going to be going back and forth between the two until maybe she and Azan get married in Morocco or whatever it is. Like, she does not have the money for this, and her child is still not enrolled in school, and none of this phases her at all. When she lands at her mom's house, she immediately starts talking about how, you know, oh, that thing with Azan, it's no big deal. We're still gonna get married in Morocco, and her mom and her brother just stare at her like,
yeah, it's not gonna, wasn't ditching me or something, you guys.
I can't imagine how hard it must be to be related to this woman who just has no common sense. Come on, guys, Azan would never do that. I mean, except the time he did that, you know, in South Korea, and except the time he ditched me at the altar in Morocco, and except this time. Awkward. Her mom and her brother were doing a magnificent job of biting their tongues for her, but you know what? Her stepdad, I always confuse him for a grandpa, I feel so bad, but her stepdad walks on in and immediately gets to dragging Nicole for, you know, landing her ass back on his couch.
I come home and I find I've been invaded.
He then makes himself comfortable and immediately proceeds to drag her by her electric purple hair.
I predict that you'll be back in 6 weeks, not married. He's had a couple of chances to marry you, and backs out each time. Has no intention of getting married.
And last but not least, he drops a massive bomb on the entire family, which is that a Moroccan man who claims to have mutual friends with Azan reached out to him via email and told him that Azan has been scamming Nicole, leading her on. There's no shop in Morocco. His family doesn't approve of her. He laughs at her with all of his friends, like how the hell are American women this damn naive? And Nicole is absolutely upset at him for bringing this up at the dinner table and especially on camera. So she storms out, returns back to tell him off, and then storms out again. Honestly, my favorite part of that scene was when he told us exactly what we were all thinking, which is that Azan is not going to like just up and dump Nicole. He's just gonna keep jerking her around until she stops spending him money. She's gonna be the one who needs to end this relationship, but it most definitely will not result in marriage. But you know what? Like, it's easy to laugh at this, but it's really sad to think about like the emotional turmoil that Nicole is going through. Like, she's just a naive woman who really wants to be loved by this guy, and this guy is just like an absolute asshole to not only do this to Nicole, but to do this to Nicole's daughter as well. Why the heck? Like, you know, she's willing to pull her daughter out of school for you, and you're not serious about her. And like, you know, if you're not going to respect Nicole, at least respect a damn child. Like, there's honestly like something wrong with someone who would do something like this. It's absolutely disgusting. We then get a tropical little vacation here as Chantel arrives in the Dominican Republic, and Pedro looked like he was arriving to pick up a corpse at the airport and not his damn wife.
We can go? Come here.
It turns out that Chantel insisted on staying at a hotel when she arrives in the DR because she did not want to see Pedro's mom at all, but Pedro made her promise that she would go and at least visit his mom and have a heart-to-heart conversation as a sign of respect, because his mom still wanted to get a lot off her chest about the way Chantel's family treated her family at the dinner party from hell. Chantel reluctantly agrees to go along with it, and oh boy, is it ever good. Back in Florida again, Elizabeth is at her sister's house creating a baby registry for her upcoming baby shower, and her sister just lets her have it to the point where Elizabeth runs storming off. But can you really blame her when her sister said something like this on national television?
He thinks he's above everyone and doesn't need anyone's help when you know damn well they need some help because they're struggling. They're on the struggle bus. Andrei's driving, Libby's a passenger. So
next up, we head back on over to Vegas, where Colt is in bed with his first wife, Debbie, talking about the confrontation that she had with Larissa. And Debbie actually suggests moving out in order to help, with Colt and Larissa's marriage, which is something that a normal 30-something-year-old man would want, right? Except Colt is not a normal 30-year-old man. He's got a really disgusting, weird relationship with his mother, and he absolutely refuses to allow her to move out. And I don't know if it's just me, but Debbie straight up rolled her eyes at him refusing to let her move out. Like, you know, here's a conspiracy theory. Is she another prisoner of Colt's? I mean, he's got her sharing a bank account with him and everything. Back down in Florida again, Andrei picks Elizabeth up from her sister's place, and she vents about the ambush that just happened. And as usual, he talks down to her and refuses to listen to anything that she has to say whatsoever. She complains about like the way that her sisters talk about him, and like you would think that he would appreciate his wife standing up for him, but he was not having it. And she's like, oh, they won't stop texting me, and he insists that she stop texting them, almost like it seemed like indefinitely. And then he gets so pissed off at her for just texting with her sisters that he swipes her phone out of her hand. And I honestly was really disturbed by this scene because Elizabeth is pregnant. Like, he could have hit her stomach, and this guy was driving. He could have gotten them into an accident, just being an asshole for no reason as usual. And honestly, if this person is willing to talk to you like this and willing to swipe things out of your hands like this on camera, there's really no telling what he does when the cameras are not around. And I don't even want to imagine. He actually even straight up refuses to give her damn phone back if she doesn't comply with his orders. I'm happy as hell that Elizabeth refused to listen to what Andrei had to say to get her phone back, but damn, am I worried for her. He seemed 50 shades of crazy. Next up, it's time for a showdown with Pedro's family, and Chantel arrives dressed in Fashion Nova's finest couture for the occasion. She didn't want to misinterpret anything and call Pedro's mom a slut-ass, bitch-ass whore, so she hired a translator going into the confrontation to save her from the epic burns. confrontations. Well, they all sit down on the couch. Things are a little awkward, but eventually Pedro's mom's like, okay, I want to talk about that dinner party from hell. Let's get into what happened there and why your family felt the need to disrespect my family on that level. So Chantel basically like blames Pedro for it. She's like, oh, like your son has a way of getting in people's faces, which, you know, as grown-ass people causes confrontations. And then she like made a shady remark about how she wouldn't flip over Pedro's mom's table, like in reference to what Pedro did. And to me, it's very clear that Chantel doesn't see herself and Pedro as like a unit and as a family because she is constantly throwing him under the bus. Like, it's a lot, girl. Like, she really needs to learn to kind of have his back sometimes. Like, yeah, he was wrong, but like, have his back sometimes. This is why he ran away from you to the Dominican Republic. So anyway, Pedro's mom was not having it whatsoever with Chantel on anything she was saying, so she decided to let her know exactly how she would have molly-whooped the entire family's ass if she were there.
Te voy a decir algo, si yo hubiera estado ahí lo arrastro a todita. La hermana primero, tu mamá sigue, tu hermano también. Si yo estoy ahí lo arrastro a todita.
Okay.
Seguro, aquí en Dominicana yo lo hago.
And just like that, I have a new fave I have to stan. You guys, that is a recap of what went down on 90 Day Fiancé Happily Ever After Season 4, Episode 7. But as usual, I'm more excited to hear what you have to say about everything, so please make sure to leave all of your thoughts and opinions in the comment section down below, and we'll chat. That's all for now. Thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you next time.